Hey there, Purpose Pursuer. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new to me, my name is Trasetta Alexander, and I am a faith-based business and productivity coach. And today I'm going to be sharing with you the number one mistake people make when trying to achieve their goals. Let's dive in. First of all, we are just a few days away from the end of the year. Christmas is days away, which means New Year's is right around the corner. And it's this time of year that we get started thinking about New Year's resolutions or goal setting. Now, I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions, but I am a huge fan of setting goals. And I myself, I have already set my goals for 2020 and made my roadmap so that I know that I will be on target to achieve exactly what I set out to do. One of the things that I see over and over again is people get discouraged about setting goals because they just don't seem to achieve them. Or maybe they get achieve one small goal, but it's those really big goals that they tend to fall short of and get really discouraged and just throw the whole thing about goal setting out the window. Purpose Pursuer, I don't want that to be you. I want you to achieve every single goal that you set out to do. And I'm going to tell you the secret on how you can do that. Because if you can overcome this number one mistake that people make when they are working towards their goals, then you can achieve anything you set out to do. Are you ready to hear it? Well, the number one mistake people make when they are working towards their goals is they focus on the goal, the end results, rather than focusing on the process. Now, I'm going to break that down for you. I like to use weight loss as examples when I'm talking about goals because they're just so easy to discuss and they're really relatable. Just about everybody on the planet at some point in their life has a desire to lose a little weight. If you have a goal, let's say you want to lose 25 pounds in 2020. And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to eat better. I'm going to exercise and I'm going to avoid sodas altogether. I'm just going to kick the soda habit. And that alone is those three things are going to help me to achieve my goal. And what happens is you start the year out really strong. So maybe you are exercising 5 days a week and you are not drinking any sodas at all. And you are doing a really good job of making sure that you cook healthy meals. And even when you go out, you're very mindful about what it is that you're eating. But somewhere along the way, we start to fall short of the activities that we think that we said that we were going to do in order to achieve our goal. Sometimes it's because life gets busy and we didn't do the proper planning. Sometimes it's because we get on the scale and see that all this hard work that we've been putting in is not showing us the results that we wanted. Maybe we gained a little weight instead of losing weight and we get discouraged and then just quit altogether. And it's because you are focused on that number. You're focused on the end result rather than the activities that will get you there. So here's what I do with my clients. I have them to set their goal to lose 25 pounds by the end of 2020. Then what we do is identify the activities that they need to do in order to achieve that goal. So let's go back to the exercise activity. Their plan is to exercise 5 days a week, and 3 of those days is going to be at the gym, and 2 of those days is going to be just kind of walking around the neighborhood. So then what I have them do is track their success. I give them a success tracker and have them mark out on their sheet how many times a week they're going to do each different activity. And then they are to track how many times they actually do what they're supposed to do. And so if you follow that tracker and you're focused on doing the activity, doing the number of activities you need to do per day or per week, whatever the case may be, and forget about what the scale says, knowing that if you keep on focusing on the activity and hitting that activity goal, then you know the weight will eventually come off. By focusing your attention on doing the activity consistently rather than the outcome or the result, then you are much more determined, right? So what you're doing is, okay, if I'm supposed to be exercising 5 times a week, then the outcome that you're focusing on is, did I hit my goal of exercising 5 days a week? And then you're focusing on that. And if you didn't, okay, then what do I need to do next week to make sure that I do? What kind of things went wrong? What kind of things got in my way, so that you can come up with a plan to overcome those things? And not that you totally forget the what the scale says. You can still monitor that, but that's not where I want you to focus. I wouldn't want you to look at your results on a weekly basis. I would have you to look at your results on a monthly basis. By tracking it on a monthly basis, then you can see that whether or not your activities are paying off, and whether that's enough time for you to identify if what you're doing is working or not. Because the law of averages means if you're doing the right activities and enough of the right activities consistently, then you're going to eventually hit that goal. Here's another good example when it comes to sales. Let's say you want to do a certain dollar amount in sales per year, or for 2020. Let's say that's $100,000 in sales that you want to do for the year. And you know that you have a 20% close rate. We're going to do the math. You want to have $100,000 in sales, and your product is $1,000, which means you need to sell 100 units for the year in order to meet your goal. Now, if we divide that by the number of months in a year, that is 8.333333, right? So that means you need to average 8 to 9 sales per month in order to hit your goal. Okay, so if you're going to work 5 days a week and your goal is to close 8 to 9 sales per month, and your close rate is 20%, then you know you need to talk to at least 40 to 45 people per month in order to yield the 8 to 9 sales that you desire. Okay, so if you take that 45 and divide it by 20 days, because if you're only gonna work 5 days out of the week, there's on average 20 working days in a month, then that means you need to talk to 2.25 people on a daily basis. So I would set my goal at 3, set it a little higher so that you can actually yield the result that you want. That means that every working day, you need to be presenting your product or service to 3 potential clients. And if you focus on making sure that you pitch to 3 clients each working day, and your close rate is 20%, then you should be able to hit your goal. Now, some weeks you may close more people, and some weeks you may close none at all. But on average, you are going to yield the result that you desire to get simply by doing the activity. All right, so those are 2 examples of how you can focus on the activity or the process that will get you to the end result rather than focusing on the end result. You focus on the process and let God be the God of the outcome. So as you are setting your goals for the new year, I want you to set process goals, set activity goals, and focus on those. Don't allow the results to distract you from doing the activity, because we know the law of averages will get you to the result that you truly desire if you remain consistent in doing the activity that you know will get you to the end result. I hope that this video has been helpful and a blessing to you. Don't forget, you got this and God has you. I love you and I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.